We bought this heater specifically for our kids' room, but we put one in our bedroom as well. We've had these oil heaters that radiate out for a while, but we wanted one that was a smart heater, which this one has those features, so you can control it with an app, and then also that the screen can turn off. The other one we just had to cover it with a bunch of tape to get the screen off, but this one just has a nice feature in the remote. Press display and it's actually off. So that's pretty nice for the kids' room for just being completely dark. And then it does beep, but it's pretty quiet. It's not a big deal. And really, you only hear it when you're changing temperatures. The way we use it is just set the temperature pretty low. This is 67 in our bedroom, but really it's not that low. Here's a little digital thermometer. 67 was by the door. This is right above it. It's not on right now. It thinks it's plenty warm, so it's not heating up anything. And then down lower, it's a little bit cooler, I'm sure, especially by the window. So the app works with a app called Smart Life, and we've got a few other plugs that connect to that app, but this one is our bedroom heater set to 67 and drops the temperature or raises the temperature, and the screen blinks for a second, showing that you are changing the temperature. When the screen's off and you change it with the app, it doesn't make any visual cues that it's changing. It's just the temperature itself. It beeps and then adjusts things inside. So I wanted to know what this app does because the language is pretty strange. Under gear, you have level 1, 2, and 3. I think what it's talking about is like how much heat this thing's putting out, how strong it is. I was using a smart plug to measure the intensity, or sorry, the power level. So this is level 3. Smart means it just changes with the smart level means it changes with the temperature. So if it goes under or above a certain temperature that you set, it'll change the heat output. So right now it's 1.3 kilowatts on level 3. The only way to keep it smart and adjust levels, I've seen smart level 1. I don't know how I did it. Now it's in manual mode when you change it. Level 1 drops it to about 600 watts, 500 watts. And then level 2, oops, it's not happy with that. Level 2 bumps it up to, I think, a kilowatt or so. I thought it went higher, 660. There we go, 850. That sounds right. So level 1's like 600, level 2 is like 850. Level 3 is the highest. And again, if you hit smart, it just sets to level 3 and it stays there. And that's the 1 point something kilowatts. Yeah, 1.3. So those are the power levels of the different gears, they call them. And you can set it to smart or manual, but really smart just means it's going to listen to the temperature you set it to. Manual means it's just on. So if it's smart and you set it to something low, it'll kick off and then set the power to nothing, basically, just a little bit, like under a watt. Once it's off, let's see. There we go, less than 1 watt. Cool. So that's the app controls. I really just leave it on smart level 3. The temperature thermostat built into the heater is pretty off. We have one of them. This one's 66. It kicks on at 70. You can hear it click. And then in our other rooms, it's like I set it to high 50s, and that's the useful temperature for keeping the room at like 70, 72 degrees. So just listen to the clicks. Don't worry about what the number actually says. It's never going to be that number. Listen to when it kicks on, and it's a comfortable temperature in that room. So like I said, we use it in the kids' room. It's not too dangerous. You know, put something on top and leave it there. It'll burn. If you put it next to furniture or a wall, it'll burn. It can roll around on these casters, so a kid could push it if they're mobile. We want to make sure it's safe. We just teach our son to not go up to it and touch it and not put stuff on top of it. So that might not work always, not work for every kid, but it works for now. So these things are nice and warm. They just radiate out heat comfortably. It is not Google connected as far as I can tell. I wasn't able to add it to Google Home. But it is still a smart device in that you can control it with the app. And I think the app they tell you to get is something else, but I just saw that it worked in this Smart Life app that I already had installed. They're all kind of the same app behind the scenes anyway. and then obviously power off. One bummer, one thing I wish wasn't true, is the display when it's off is just OF. And there's no way to change that display. So if it's off, you can't hit display on the remote to turn off that indicator. So I'm going to turn it back on, and then I think you just have to use that remote to hit display. You can also do it in the app itself under settings. There's the top one, turn off display. So if you turn off the turn off display setting, it goes away. Or sorry, it brings back the lights, and then if you turn on the setting, it's back on. So a bit confusing in the language. I'll tell you the instructions are pretty much worthless. How to build this thing, that's the first thing you got to do, and the instructions are terrible at it. This is how it looks. It's just these wire brackets that go over the first and the last little heater loop, and then the wheel casters just bolt on just fine. You kind of just fiddle with them, plug them in. There's some screws underneath that you just finger tighten. I don't think I needed any tools for anything. And then you plug it in, and it's good to go. To connect it to Wi-Fi, I believe it was holding down the... Yeah, this is the display button. I think you hold that down so you can see the Wi-Fi indicator light is glowing red. If you hold it down... Oh, no, that's not display. That's the level of the heater. I don't really touch the screen very often. I just use the app or the remote. If you hold that for a bit, it should change Wi-Fi. I believe that's what I did. Maybe not. I'm going to try it again. It started blinking when I first set it up and asked me to connect. Maybe it's the timer. Or maybe it's because it's already connected. I've set it up and it's done. Either way, there was pressing and holding one of these buttons, and it was just one of them that got it to work. And it could also be done from the remote, I believe, if I held down whatever button it's supposed to be, level maybe. So this is changing it to manual mode. If I just tap that button, but holding it should reset to the Wi-Fi settings, but I guess not, since it's already connected. If it's not connected, you'll have to hold down one of those buttons to get it turned on. Okay, let me go back to the app. I want to set it back to what it was. Mode should be smart, because pressing the button of the level changes it from smart to manual. Okay. Yeah, so again, I just fiddle with the temperature, leave it on smart mode, and let it sit. And yeah, it's a pretty good heater. I like it. We bought one to test out, enjoyed it. Bought two others for the kids' rooms, and we keep one in our room. And the old one is in the closet, not in use. And yeah, we like it and recommend it.